Coming up on King Central.
If you had to choose 3 words that best describe who you are, what would that be?
Weird. Nobody will ever understand me. They'll never understand my thought process.
Cauley-Stein with the power rip of the year.
Holy moly, Jim Bob Foley.
Oh, that was something special.
Accept your flaws, and you gotta accept your weaknesses, and you gotta want to change them.
Anderson drops it off Romano. Blocked by Cauley-Stein. Here come the Kings.
Get that shot out of here.
There's no mistakes in it. That's the most important part of art. Like, there's no mess-ups. You can always just create something else.
3-on-1. Oh, Cauley-Stein! And they love it here in Sacramento.
I have a new victim for King Central, Willie Cauley-Stein, joining me at the Crocker Museum. I have to thank you. You're very artistic. I've been in Sacramento on and off for 10 years, and I've never been here before. So you're responsible for this, and it's awesome.
Well, I feel blessed that I could do that.
Have you been here before?
I've not been.
All right,
I didn't
well then,
yeah.
it's a first for
So
both
this
of
is
us.
cool. Yeah,
Let's
this is
go.
great.
So I know that this is your first time here, but is going to museums something that you do, or how do you kind of look at art?
Via Instagram.
Yeah.
That's where I see a lot of art. But I've only been to like 2 art museums, and they were both like to deal with a class. So one was like kind of like set up like this, but then another one was like a sculpture. So it was all sculptures. But I think it was like both one museum, but they were like 2 different.
Right.
So like it felt like 2 different museums,
Yeah.
but I think it was one.
Is there a bucket list, like museum that you want to go to?
Yeah. Not necessarily art museum.
Really?
But like, I want to go to the museum that was in the Night of the Museum.
I know for me, when I was playing basketball, I traveled a lot. Like, you know, in the WNBA, you play overseas, and I was that nerd that like would go to museums, you know, on off days. But you have to go to the Louvre. It's one of the most amazing museums ever because you can see everything under the sun, and that's where the Mona Lisa is. Oh. You can see the sculptures. You can see just wildly famous, popular paintings that, you know, you really never have the opportunity to see. You've got to put that on your bucket list.
Nah, it's for sure. Yeah. If I ever go to Paris, that's first
You'll
priority.
go. Look,
someday.
just go for art.
Yeah.
You can do it.
Yeah,
go for art.
Sure.
So when you look at like art like this, there's a lot of different stuff. Obviously, you know, what are you drawn to?
A lot of it, nothing in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is not me.
Yeah, this is a little different. We were looking at some of kind of like the more landscape type stuff, right?
Yeah.
Are you kind of drawn to that?
Right now, at the moment, yeah, I am. That and so like when I was going to school, like I was trying to be a graffiti artist. So now I'm just now getting into like realism, landscapes, not abstract.
That is a talent in and of itself, because you know when we travel, when we're on the road, and the one that comes to mind when we were going to Golden State most recently, and you're on your way to Oracle Arena and you see the trains,
in Oakland,
yeah, all of that graffiti. There is a beauty to it.
Oh, for sure.
Absolutely.
For sure. I mean, even here, like when you go downtown, on L, on like anywhere, honestly, anywhere downtown, especially in the art district, like everything is tagged. Like there's like a building where it's kind of like it's almost like a parking garage, but it's like vacated and everything is just nothing but graffiti in it, and it's so dope.
So when you're on the road, obviously you're looking at the street art, but do you have a sketch pad with you? Is that something that you do and you kind of draw and create all the time?
Yeah, I always keep like a art pack in my bag.
Okay, what's in an art pack? Because I have an emergency pack and mine has like Band-Aids and stuff, okay?
No, that ain't it. Just like a set of like, a whole set of pencils, like erasers, pencil sharpeners, sketchbook,
So
ruler.
A ruler.
Ruler.
Oh, okay. So you have to be precise.
Ruler, just in case. You never
You don't
know.
have the surgical precision of just to draw a straight line.
Nah.
It's tough when you've jammed your fingers and like that. How has
yes.
basketball kind of affected your art?
I like to think that that is the art. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So like, say I bust my hand. All right, well the art is like using your busted hand, so then it looks weird. It looks abstract.
It's you.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
So like, there's no mistakes in it. That's the most important part of art. Like, there's probably so many mistakes in a painting like this, and to us, we're not gonna see it because we didn't do it, so it's gonna look dope to us. But there's something that they messed up on. Like maybe they wasn't even trying to make a curved tree, and it just happened to like curve, and they're like, oh, that kind of looks cool. So then they just make it look curved, and now
They
it's like,
sneezed and then
Right.
they had to fix it.
and that's like that's the beauty of all of it. Is there's no mess ups. You can always just create something else.
Well, it's not just you're sketching either. You like to design things, and watches is one of them, right? You kind of get into all the different forms of art.
Yeah, the watches was like a quick. That was a quick one. Like, I think I designed like 5 or 6 faces in like an hour, and then they were like done like that. So it was like not a lot like of time thought about it. It was just like
inspiration. It came to
at
you
the
and you
point.
put it out.
Yeah, it was cool. Same with the hats. They just set like a bunch of, I mean, if you've seen the video, you've seen all the textiles and stuff like that. And it was like, all right, do what you do. All right, start flipping through stuff, you know.
Well, if you're so good at like instant inspiration, I think we should go downstairs, and we've got some canvases set up, and we'll see if you're inspired today.
Okay.
Okay.
More to come on King Central.
She was like, well, you've always said it. You've always said it since you was in junior high. You just never thought it was going to be real. I said, nah, I just never thought it was going to be this real this fast.
Are you like a messy painter?
No, I'm actually really OCD.
I probably should have a drop cloth, so. All right, let's get this. All right. What's your earliest memory? Like, do you remember the first time you painted?
I do. I don't know what I painted, but I remember mixing when I was like 4 probably. I was in preschool.
Okay. Oh,
The only day I remember in preschool is like mixing red and blue and making purple. And it was like, what?
I made purple.
Yeah, it was cool. It was cool. And that's like that was like when it first started. That was the very first.
And then you were hooked.
Yeah.
From then.
There, I was hooked.
How often do you is this something that you do, I don't know, maybe to get away from basketball? NBA season can kind of be stressful. Is this
Yeah.
an escape?
I think it has a lot to do with how I hoop. Art, music, anything that puts your mind in that spot, I feel like is what it really, and art just fills it up.
So if you were artistic growing up, you remember doing it at like 4, you said. Did you watch Bob Ross growing up? The Happy Clouds?
On PBS.
Yeah.
I watched it from an extent of, man, that dude has a really nice fro. Let me watch this for a little while. And then I didn't really understand it until I got older.
Right.
So here recently, I just got back into it because it's on Netflix.
It's on Netflix now.
So I just be watching like, Bob just be killing. I'll just be doing it.
When he doesn't like something and he could like, oh no, I don't like that.
I'll just change it to a tree instead of a squirrel.
Yeah. If you had to choose 3 words that best describe who you are, what would that be?
3 words.
Yeah.
Weird is definitely one.
Okay, weird. Why weird?
You know, the biggest thing I could say is like people fear what they don't understand. And that's me. Nobody will ever understand me. My homies understand me, like my people that's close to me understand me. They know what's going on. But to the outside people, like they will never understand me. They'll never understand my thought process. It's just a way that I live, that the only way you know is if you're living the same lifestyle or you're living the same as I'm living. You either get it or you don't get it. And if you get it, it's powerful because we're going to be on some powerful stuff. But if you don't get it, then it's almost like I can't even talk to you because you're not going to understand what I'm talking about.
Like, I don't got time for that.
Yeah, you're not going to see things how I see it. So it's going to be redundant or it's going to be irrelevant or whatever we're doing. And in basketball, it's like that because I have a whole nother vision of what I'm trying to be on. And people don't want to see that. People don't want to see a 7-footer shooting jumpers and dribbling and doing all types of, you know, guard stuff. Like, they don't want to see that, but like, if you got it, use it.
Now Willie will have a chance to post on lead. Now he backs out, faces, fires, and hits. Boy, how about that? Cauley-Stein, and a chance for one more. Boy, you see graceful when he gets that ball.
So, right now, what's your biggest flaw as a player and as an artist?
As a player, my biggest flaw is I forget how good I am sometimes.
Oh, a block shot by Cauley-Stein.
How do you think that is?
Just the way I grew up has a lot to play in it. I was always the best kid in everything, but to me, I wasn't the best kid in everything. Which could have made me the best kid in everything because I didn't think I was the best kid. So I was going at a different speed. I was going at a different rate. So now it's just like, sometimes I forget how good I really am or how good, or sometimes I forget my vision. Sometimes I'm not on my line of where I'm trying to go to. And like, if you get off that path, if you get off your line, you can never find your line again.
Willie Cauley-Frankenstein.
I tell you what, you are not going to stay in front of Willie, and Willie says, I am freed.
I had that earlier this year where I forgot, like, I forgot what I set out my rookie year. This is what I was coming to the league like, I'm gonna show people that I could score. I'm gonna show people that I belong. And then this year was kind of like the role, like I thought that it was gonna be different. So like I expected a lot more, but I didn't get that in return. And I forgot that I was a young dude. I forgot that I was young. I forgot that, you know, we had vets on the team. I forgot a whole lot of things that play into it.
What got you started on the jewelry kind of side of things and the clothes and that component of the design?
Well, it was funny that I just talked to my mom that 2 days ago, and we were talking about, because I was just part of that fashion show, and I was just telling her how many you know, cool connects I made there, and like how it's really starting to take off, like in that aspect and like that world. And she was like, well, you've always said it since you was in junior high that you wanted to have your own shoe and clothing spot, you wanted your own line. She said, you just never thought it was gonna be real. I said, nah, I just never thought it was gonna be this real this fast. Okay,
I like your blue a lot. This is something that you could sit here for a while. I don't know where the bridge is ever gonna come. You are OCD. This is like the paint by numbers version, like the kindergarten class version.
Well, okay, so what's wrong is I'm trying to like get an all blue background and acrylic paint is so thick. Like I almost need like paint thinner to mix with it.
Coming up on King Central.
I grew up with him. I couldn't do it, you know what I'm saying? I couldn't go through that. I couldn't be mentally like that. I'm trying to become a killer. I'm trying to become an assassin.
So this is the best part about my job, right? I've done these with different players. Each person is different. Like I'm seeing a completely different side of you than any of us get to see on the court. So I feel like asking you a question, like what's next for you? A lot of players will be like, I want to go into the front office. I want to do this. What's next for you? The way you perceive it, I think is it's going to be totally different.
I give myself like 6 months, and it could be more. It could be a year. But I have a year to like solidify how I want to be in the league. And that's like where I have to make a choice. I either want to be a role player or I want to be the player.
And he told Willie Cauley-Stein, just keep on doing what you've been doing. Willie Cauley-Stein again! And here's the long, Willie Cauley-Stein!
If I want to be a role player, stick what I'm doing. If I want to be the player, then I have to do something else. I have to get my mind in a different rate. Like, so this summer, I've been talking about it. Now it just depends on if I end up doing it. And I think it would be dope to do. But, cause I have to have like a whole mental rewire. So I want to go through like a boot camp, like a Marine boot camp, and really just get after it mentally, you know?
Yeah.
And I think nobody does that.
No,
nobody
I've never
does
heard
that. And where I got it from is one of my best friends growing up went to Ranger School. Mm-hmm. And so I watched the Ranger School on TV. I watched it, and I said, "Holy, this is what my man's going through."
Right.
Like he's going through this. I grew up with him. I couldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't go through that. I couldn't be mentally like that. But I ain't never gone through nothing like that.
Right.
And so like looking at it, I'm like, damn. I'm trying to become a killer. I'm trying to become an assassin. Trying to get that type of dude mentality, because that's the only thing that's stopping me.
Bruce of this just can't jump high enough, quick enough to deal with Willie Cauley-Stein, and Collison knows it.
Nobody else is stopping me. It's myself, and I don't know how to think like that. I don't know how to think like.
You're not wired that way.
I'm not, but I'm trying to be free, and who cares? Like, I'll make it work. That's how it should be. But I make it like, I did it wrong, or dang, I should have done this, instead of just like, man, you just gotta do it. Let it happen, let it roll, and if it doesn't work, find a different way to let it roll. And it's tough, because I've always been in that position where go in the corner, shoot it when it comes to you. It's probably not coming to you though, so be ready though, just in case, because it might hit you in the face if they do decide to throw it to you. That's what separates the mentality. Those dudes like Kobe and Jordan, they ain't give twos. It's what people like. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't care what, I know what I'm, and I'm like that outside of basketball.
Right.
I'm not like that in basketball, and that's how I need to be. But outside of basketball, you can't tell me nothing. I'm gonna do what I want, when I want, how I want, and however I need to do it, I'm gonna do it. And that's kind of the biggest thing for me right now, is just trying to figure out how to be like that all the time.
So we talk about art, but obviously art comes in multiple forms. We see you painting right now. What about music for you?
I love music. I love the art of music, for sure. One of my homies that live with me, he eats, sleeps, drinks music. So I'm around it a lot, and it's like it's just another art, you know?
Where'd your nickname come from? I mean, I guess in the long form, it's Professor Trill. Where does that come from?
So I had a few homies, and it's cool because looking at it now, we are on like trying to start our own record label. The same group of dudes that I've been with all to college. well, we used to have a little rap group, and my name on the rap group was Trill Will, and so then like a year of that, like that's where it became Trill. Yo, Trill, come here, Trill, and I'm like, I never had a nickname before, so it was cool. And then I ended up just changing it because it was just, everybody called me it anyways, and it was cool. And then I just ended up changing it to Trill.
So, rapping. You gonna freestyle for me? I mean, you're already freestyling here, why not?
Give me a beat.
Can we get a beat?
All right, ain't much of a freestyler. So I'm sitting in this classroom with my girl Kayte. I'm trying to get on the paint. Damn, I'm kind of lazy. My boy Worm over there kicking it crazy. Man on the camera kind of crazy. I don't freestyle. I just respect the art of it. Like, I love the way music sounds in your ear. Like, I love watching my friends like really grind on something that they love doing. And it just became a passion. I ain't always like music, but I always like having a voice. And like if you can write down and try to fit it into a rhythm and do all that, that's cool. Like that's it. That's where it's at.
Okay, so you have to tell me about your logo and how you came up with it, the design. I saw the necklace. It's legit.
You know, I've had one other logo in college, and it was actually really cool. So my friend Al Smith designed it for me, both designs. So the first one was like WCS, and then so I used to be 15, so it was like WCS 15, but then it was like surrounded by the state of Kansas. So say it was like WCS in like block letters, because Kansas is square. So like the WCS would be here.
Right.
And then like the Kansas part would go around it.
Right, the state outline.
Right, the state outline, it would be like, it was cool how he fit it in there. And then you know, like I grew out of that, I guess. And he designed a different one, and it was just like so much more like, more global, more, you can use it for.
Do you have the tattoos of either one?
I got the tattoo of that one.
Oh, wow.
And it's just so slick, it's like easy. It's like, if I had a shoe, that's what I wanted. Like I want that on there because it just looks like a superhero's like logo or something. And that was like the thought behind it was like some superhero.
So now that we've got your Tower Bridge, like I feel like I know you really well now, and there's this OCD side to you. So this is gonna be a work in progress for you. I know you're not gonna stop.
I actually am probably gonna have to like go home and actually make one, because because I'm not feeling this.
You're like, no.
So I'm actually gonna have to make one and post it so people were like, oh, okay.
It's a good trial run for you. Practice makes perfect.
For sure.
Thank you so much for being artistic with me for the day.